My name is Alicia, and I live in the bustling, indifferent city of New York. On a bitterly cold winter evening, after a long and exhausting day of work, I was dragging myself home when I passed a dimly lit street corner. A timid voice caught my attention. "Miss, would you buy a rose?" I turned and saw a girl, no older than 12, wearing a worn, thin coat. Her face was red from the cold, and she held a handful of vibrant red roses, their brightness stark against the chilly night. Her eyes held a plea, and an age beyond her years, a weariness that didn't belong to someone so young. My heart softened, and I took out some money and bought a bouquet. She took the money, softly murmured a thank you, her voice trembling just slightly. In the days that followed, I often passed by that street corner and saw her there again. Each time, I would buy a rose, and we became familiar with one another. She told me her name was Lucy, that her parents had passed away, and she had to sell flowers to survive. I felt sorry for her and decided to help. I contacted some friends, encouraging them to order flowers from Lucy, and I also promoted her on social media. With everyone's help, Lucy's little business started to pick up. One day, as I walked to the corner to find Lucy, I noticed she wasn't there. Concerned, I asked around, but no one seemed to know where she was. Just when I was about to give up, I happened to spot Lucy at a high-end restaurant. She was wearing an elegant evening gown, laughing and chatting with a well-dressed middle-aged man, who seemed to hold considerable power. I could hardly believe my eyes. Shocked, I walked over to confront her. When Lucy saw me, she froze for a moment, then a flash of panic crossed her face. But soon she composed herself, and coldly said, "Alicia, mind your own business. I was just using you. Did you really think I was just some poor flower girl?" It felt as if I had been struck with a heavy blow. Anger and betrayal flooded my heart. It turned out that everything was part of her carefully crafted scam. I vowed never to have anything to do with Lucy again. But not long after, I received a letter from a lawyer. The letter stated that Lucy had taken me to court, accusing me of making false claims about her on social media, causing harm to her reputation, and demanding a huge sum in damages. I was shaking with rage. This Lucy had gone too far. In court, I defended myself vigorously. Just when things were starting to turn against me, the so-called influential man Lucy had been with appeared. He stood up and testified that Lucy was a habitual fraud, preying on people's sympathy for her own gain. Apparently, there had been a falling out between them, and he had decided to expose her true nature. In the end, Lucy lost the case, and her ugly actions were laid bare for the world to see. I thought the matter was over and that life could return to normal. But just when I thought I could breathe a sigh of relief, I received a mysterious phone call. A deep voice on the other end said, "Alicia, do you think it's over? There are people behind Lucy. You'll pay for this." And then the line went dead. I stood frozen, holding the phone, fear creeping into my heart. Who was this mysterious person? What kind of danger was I about to face?